guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my 2014 favourites. So I'm going to be telling you guys a bit about all the products I was obsessed with all of last year. There's quite a few, so I'm going to get started. I'm going to try to do this in some sort of order, so I'm going to start from like the base of the face and, you know, to the eyes, to the brows, to the lips. Starting off with primer, really the only one that I was obsessed with is the Body Shop Mattifying Primer. I really love this, and I use this for a good portion of the year. I've still got 3/4 of it left because you only need the tiniest amount and it covers your whole entire face. So I do think this is a fantastic primer, and it really does mattify, especially for those people with quite oily skin. It's a little bit of a pricey primer, but for how much you get out of it and how long it lasts, I definitely think it is worth it, and this was definitely my favourite. For concealer, I would 100% have to say the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer, and I know pretty much everyone on YouTube is going to say that, but everyone's saying it because it's true. It is amazing. It is so fantastic at highlighting and brightening underneath your eye. I don't really use it for blemishes or anything like that, but for underneath the eye it is a god. I've got two shades. I use the brightening shade and the light shade. I do usually rip the sponge off because it wastes so much product. Yes, this was sent down to earth from the concealer gods. So for foundation I couldn't pick out a 3, so I'm just going to show you them all. So the first one I probably used a bit too much in tutorials because I love it that much, but it's the Chi Chi Super BB Cream, and it is fantastic. I have it in the medium shade. The only bad thing about this is that it don't have a large variety of colours. It is the most flawless full coverage BB cream I've ever used. I would probably classify it more of a foundation than a BB cream because it is so full coverage. Chi Chi is just one of those brands that just does it with every product. Like, they just don't fail. Next one I haven't used the entire year, but I used it for pretty much since it came out. I'm not too sure how long ago that was, a couple of months, but oh my god. So this is the Loreal Infallible in Radient Beige. Woo. I saw Shiny Grimond use it, I saw Lauren Curtis use it. Both fake tan, so I decided to grab it in the shade that they use, and it matches me perfectly. I have it on today. It doesn't look too dark because the sun is washing me out. It is probably my new favourite oh, it's dirty, sorry. Sorry about that. I do feel like it is quite hard to apply with a foundation brush. It just like comes back off, but if you apply it with a beauty blender, it is heaven. Lastly, for when I'm not fake tanned, I've been non-stop using the Revlon Colorstay in Ivory. Look at that colour difference between me, normal skin, and fake tanned. The Revlon Colorstay is an amazing foundation. I still am to find my colour for when I fake tan because I will definitely use that a lot. The formula is incredible. It goes on so flawlessly. It does not come off all day. When it says 24 hours, I'm pretty sure it actually would stay on for 24 hours. Just amazing, and it's one of the only brands that I found that will have my shade for when I'm pale, so I love this little guy. And powders to match those foundations. So again, we're going to do when I'm tanned and when I'm pale. When I'm tanned, I use the Australis Fresh and Flawless, of course. Such a cheap powder, amazing dupe for the MAC pressed powder because it's pretty much the exact same ingredients. So I use these shades Natural, Deep Natural, and Darkest Brown for when I'm super tanned, when I'm pretty tanned, and when I'm fading tanned. Best wear in a powder ever. It is definitely more of like a full coverage powder. So if you have not tried this, out of all my favourites, this is probably the thing that I would recommend the most. Then for when I'm my normal skin colour, I am dying over the Revlon Age Defying Translucent Powder. I use this as a kind of like a powder foundation. Even though this is meant to be a setting powder, I can't use it as a powder foundation because it does go on so white. Yes, I am naturally this pale. Would not recommend this as a translucent powder if you are tan because it goes on white. If you are ghostly white like me, then this will match you perfectly. For bronzer slash contour, I have been obsessed with Nars Laguna, of course. I have been loving a lot of other ones, but this is definitely the one that I have been reaching to most days. You cannot go wrong with this. I mean, I can use it when I'm pale, I can use it when I'm tanned. It is just amazing. I use it as an eyeshadow, I use it as a contour, I use it as a bronzer. It is just one of the most universal, amazing products. As you can tell, I love it because I'm very much so hip pan, and I will die the day that I run out. When I'm paler and I don't feel like using Nars Laguna, I use the Ultimate Contour Palette by Napoleon Perdis, and I just use the top contour shade here. It is a little bit of a lighter shade, so if you are super duper pale and you feel a bit scared to use Nars Laguna, then I would recommend this because it is a lot easier to use and you don't really have to worry about putting too much on. Out of this, I use these two shades here. I feel like the pink is just way too powdery and pigmented and I just can't use it. But other than that, this is an amazing little kit. For blush, which is kind of one of my more favourite things to use lately. I used to be a lipstick girl and I think now I'm kind of a blush girl. So for the first half of the year I was dying over the Bourjois Blush in number 33. You would have seen me use it in a few tutorials. It is incredible. It is such an amazing like dusty rose with gold reflex. Oh my god, you have to see it to believe it. I was really scared to use this because of the gold in it, but when you put it on, it does not show up any shimmer. It's just like the most amazing glow to your face. And if you have not tried this, go into a store and look at it and you'll die. It is like looking up into heaven. It's so pretty, I'm gonna die. And then for the second half of the year, courtesy to my boyfriend who got this for me, is the Simpsons MAC Blush in Sideshow You. I have this on today and holy Jesus. When I first saw this I was like, oh yeah, it's a nice colour, and then I put it on and I was like, what? It is the perfect blush for summer. But I'm so scared to use it because it's got this little like engrave of Marge Simpson in it and I don't want to get rid of it because I'm so Simpsons obsessed. Which explains why my cat is called Bart. For highlight, I use the Napoleon Perdis Contour Palette again, and I use this highlight shade right here. I really like this. It's more of like a neutral shimmer. I also use Nars Albatross, but I don't know where that is right now. It's an incredibly gold highlight, but it looks really nice. And then for the past few months, I used the Australis AC on Tour palette. And I use this shade right here, which I have on today, and it's more of like a natural shimmer. It doesn't look that nice, but when you put it on I think it is really pretty. Then to set my face I use the NYX Matte Finishing Spray nearly every single day. I really like this. I'm almost empty and I think now I'm going to buy the Skindinavia setting spray and give that a go, but I really like this one. For brows I non-stop use the Sigma Brow Duo in dark brown. I love this. I don't really use the lighter shade. I just use the darker shade. I have it on today. Best brow powder I've used. Then for the eyes, I'll start off with shadows. I tried to control myself and I only picked two things. So the first thing is the Maybelline Color Tattoo Pure Pigment. And this one is an Improper Copper and I've used this in so many tutorials because I love it so much. The most amazing copper brown shade. I'm copper obsessed. But I have non-stop used this for like the entire year. Absolutely love it, and I plan on getting the other shades, but this one is just perfect. And then of course we have the TT Bronzers palette. I love every single one of these shades. The only thing I don't like about these palettes is the packaging. They're a bit cheap and tacky, plasticky. But the shades inside are amazing. All the palettes are like dupes for the Nikki Naked palettes. My favourite one is this coppery brown, of course. But I feel like if you get your hands on one of these palettes, it's really all you're gonna need, and they're great for traveling. And the pigmentation is out of this world. And I thought I would mention this really Jess? Eyeshadow. I thought I would mention this eyeshadow stick by Chi Chi as well called Barberella. Shanaxo introduced this to me and oh my god, this is incredible. For an inner corner highlight, you will not use any other product ever again. Once you try Barberella, you never go back. And I'm not a glitter eyeliner fan, but this year I tried it out a little bit and the Chi Chi glitter eyeliner is beautiful. I like it because it's not just gold, but it's like a bronze gold and it is just so pretty. I love to put it on my bottom lash line just for a little bit of something extra, and I just think it is perfect. Doesn't wear off and it's really fine glitter, so you don't get it like just everywhere. Mascara, I have to mention the Essence Lash Mania Reloaded mascara. Essence mascaras have exploded over the past year of just being so popular, so well known because of how cheap yet amazing quality they are, and this one would have to be my favourite. I feel like the formula is perfect. When I put it on my lower lash line it doesn't flake off, it doesn't smudge underneath my eye. It's just amazing. For lashes, if you watched my tutorials probably when I first started, I was Ardel, Demi, Wispy obsessed, and I still do like them, but over the past year I discovered the Red Cherry number 43 lashes. Never going back to Ardel ever. They're pretty much exactly the same, they're just longer, but I have them on today. Everyone that I meet asks if they're my real lashes because they look so natural, but they're just so incredibly long and wispy, and of course I've haired them up with my dual eyelash adhesive. Do not use any other glue ever. It never fails me. My eyelashes never come off and I love this so much. For lipsticks, of course you would know this because I rave about them all the time and I wear them all the time, and probably too much. Maybelline 14 Hour lipsticks are incredible. They're my favourite lipsticks, especially the colour Perpetual Peony. It's the most amazing pink with a little bit of a purple undertone. They smell really good, they stay on for over 10 hours. What more could you want? And I have a whole swatch video of these if you want to check it out. And then this wouldn't be a favourites video if I didn't mention MAC's Velvet Teddy. I kind of feel like everyone's sick of hearing about it, but it's just amazing. I'm not over this yet. I'm not over it. It is my perfect shade. It is a dark nude, makes your lips look huge. If you match my MAC Velvet Teddy, I continuously use the Amuse lip pencil in Natural. This is a super cheap lip pencil, but it is like a really dark nude, so you outline your lips and it makes them look ginormous and very Kylie Jenner-ish. This combo is amazing. Then I thought I would throw in two brushes in my favourites because they are very important. First one is the Sigma E40 blending brush. I use this through my crease and it never fails. Use it every single day. Will not use a different brand or brush for my eyeshadow. I feel like it's just the most perfect blending brush. If you want to get one brush from Sigma, I would highly recommend getting this one. And then of course my Nars ITA brush. This is for contouring underneath your cheekbones. It is perfect. Very, very, very overpriced and expensive, but if you are going to splurge, then I would recommend this. Okay, so we are done with the makeup favorites. I'm going to show you some tanning favorites, skincare and teeth whitening super quickly. So I have to mention Loving Tan. I know people are probably thinking I'm sponsored by Loving Tan. It is not the case. I buy these myself. I go through these like absolute crazy. I use the Deluxe Bronzing Mousse in Ultra Dark. I do not use the Express one. I put it on at night time and I sleep in it, and in the morning I'm like a bronzed goddess. I'm someone that has been fake tanning since I was 16, so that's almost 5 years ago. I just realised how old I am. I have tried Le Tan, I've tried Bondi Sands, I've tried Saint Tropez, I've tried Summer Tan. I've pretty much tried every single one of them. I will admit, I think Saint Tropez and Bondi Sands are both good tans, but they do not even compare to Loving Tan. They're not as dark, they don't stay on as long, and they do not come off as nicely. You guys would know how absolutely pale I am. I'll insert a photo so you can see the difference, but it makes me so bronzed. Stays on for probably a good 7 days without any wear, which I think is amazing. To match with those, I use the Loving Tan Picture Perfect Instant Body Makeup. This is for when the days that I haven't had time to redo my tan, it's been over a week, and I might be getting a little bit of wear over my brow strap or something like that. You just get this on a makeup brush or a sponge, pat it on, and it's like bam, it's gone. Don't know how this works because I put it on and I was like, oh, that's definitely going to wear off my clothes. I'm going to touch it and it's going to smudge off, and it didn't. So for skincare, I used the Witch Hazel Cleanser the entire year. I pretty much didn't use anything else on my face. I feel like it was very gentle, very natural, and my skin doesn't like chemicals, so if you are someone who has sensitive skin, I would recommend this baby. And also of course coconut oil, which is melted because it is so hot today. I do have a whole video on this as well, so you can check that one out if you want to know. I use this to whiten my teeth, I use it as a hair treatment, I use it on my eyelashes, I use it on my skin. It's just a god. For my absolute last product, I wanted to mention the Versace perfume. I pretty much use just this for the entire year. I have so many perfumes, but they don't even compare to this. I honestly don't think there's a better scent in the world. I know everyone has different likes with perfumes, but this is probably my favourite one, and if you are in like a Priceline or a fragrance store, then definitely give it a whiff. And as you can tell, I'm due for some more. So that is it for my 2014 favourites. I hope you enjoyed it and this video wasn't too long. I will leave all the links to products below if I can find the links for you guys. Definitely leave some comments below telling me what your favourites were because I would love to know. Feel free to subscribe if you're not already because that means you have it well to me. And I just want to thank you guys for giving me such amazing support this past year. You all have an absolutely amazing year. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!